Here we go. Hey, everybody, it's Andrea.
Hi, and Nanette.
Woo! And guess what we're going to talk about today? Things we love about
Texas.
Yeah. Woo!
Oh, I just thought of another thing, and I am putting it on.
Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
So first of all, did you see last time? It was so off when we did this stuff.
She's there. She's there. I know, and the high five was crazy.
Yeah, we were like, woo! Nanette lives in Texas. She lives in Central Texas. Is that all you want to say?
A little southwest of Austin.
And I've been to Texas several times. I should say many times. Mostly the Austin area, but I have also been to El Paso, and I have been to, what's the name of that town that has the Alamo in it?
San Antonio.
San Antonio.
El Paso is the first place I was before I even lived here. I was stationed there, but I've lived here for 20 years almost.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I loved El Paso.
I liked it too when I lived there, yeah. Okay, so the first thing I wrote was winter. I love winter in Texas. I love it. I can go outside. I do go outside almost every day. It's raining today, so, but I still went outside because I had to go to the gym.
So I put weather too, but I'll wait till you're done talking about weather.
But I mean, the winter is nice and mild. This year it's really mild, but I like the winter here.
Well, you guys had a couple cold days though.
Yeah.
So yeah, I was gonna say I like the weather there because it's mostly the same weather, except for it's very hot in the summer. So it's a double-edged sword because in the summer it's very hot, and it seems like most people stay inside during the day in the summer and do a lot of stuff at night. You know?
Yeah, I want to live somewhere up north in the summer. That's my dream.
Yeah, that's what we should do. We should have a winter place in Texas and a summer place in Pennsylvania. We'll just all travel back and forth.
Okay, I hear you. All right, you go.
Because yeah, I can't stand this now. Okay. I was gonna say the people. I think the people in Texas are awesome. First of all, they're very neighborly, they're very friendly, but they're not overly friendly. You know what I mean?
That's what I have. People are nice, yep.
They're not the kind of friendly that's annoying. They're the kind of friendly that's, you know, they'll sit and have a conversation with you or whatever. And they're not rushing you and they're like, oh, okay, come here, you know, excuse me, pardon me, let me help you with that, this kind of thing.
Like my lawn guy.
The lawn guy, man, he talked to me for like forever. We were like discussing different ways to get rid of pests or something. I don't remember what it was, but we could have just had a barbecue at that point. You know what I mean?
I know, he's cool.
It's like even when you go to the store, you're not getting rushed out of the store. So a lot of places in the South are like this, but a lot of places in the South also seem like a weird kind of friendly. You know what I mean? Like, kind of like a put on, which is fine. I'm fine with that. Look at my age. Just
like bless your heart.
Bless your heart. But in Texas, man, it's like they're just happy to be alive. I'll tell you what. Right?
Well, bless your heart is kind of a rude thing to say in the South.
Yeah, we know.
Texas is different. I like Texas.
It's a nice route. That's the thing, is a lot of places in the South have nice things that are actually rude, and I'm fine with that. They used to bother me when I was young. But at the age I'm at now, I'm like, hey, they're not yelling at me. I mean, we come from the Philly area because we've seen everything. Fine. Do your nice rude thing. Ain't no never mind me.
Absolutely. Well, my next one is sunsets. I just love sunsets, and I don't know if it's just that you don't notice them in other places because you're not outside, but
I think it's because it's so flat in your area, you can see the sunset better.
I love the sunset, and I think I'll just put these two together. The sunsets and the stars at night are big and bright, deep in the heart
of Texas.
I love the stars at night. I can see all the stars. It's beautiful. At any planets that are shown, I see all of it. It's gorgeous. It's your turn.
The next thing I have is the food. And it's a lot of different food. Okay, I have 3 things listed. One is steak. First of all, I've had steak in a lot of places and over many years, and different ranges of steak and different styles. And I worked in the beef industry, and the best steak I ever had was in Texas, and it was at, is it called Cattlemen's Association? Is that the name of the place? It's in El Paso.
Yeah, that ranch. You're talking about the ranch in El Paso?
Yeah.
Oh my God, yes, I love that place.
It was amazing. It was amazing. If you ever get a chance to go there, that's the
I
place.
love their beans too, and I'm not even a bean person. I'm not.
You don't even like beans. But anyway.
Yeah, I love that.
I also put Texas barbecue. I mean, I'm more of a Carolina barbecue person, but I do like smoked pork. My husband loves the brisket, the Texas brisket. And of course I put Whataburger.
Oh God.
I know it's in other places, but I'm sorry, you always remember the first place that you had jalapeno on your burger.
Dude, you forgot Schlotzsky's.
Well, I like Schlotzsky's too, but it's not just in Texas. I mean, maybe Whataburger's not just in Texas. I don't know. It's not up here. I live in Pennsylvania.
Schlotzsky's originated in Texas. So.
Yeah, I love Schlotzsky's. It's a sandwich place with amazing bread and meat, and yeah.
And that's where I took Dylan for lunch yesterday. He could have eaten anywhere in the whole freaking world. He picked Schlotzsky's. I was like, well, at least it's cheap. It's a cheap lunch. I mean, heck. But yeah, he loves Schlotzsky's. Is it my turn?
Yes. Did you have a food one or no?
I don't have a food one. No.
Okay.
It's not my thing, but I love how they treat their veterans in Texas. They have a lot of places with veterans discounts. You have, according to your percentage of disability, you don't pay taxes if you're 100 land taxes. If you're 100% disabled, you pay no land taxes. If you're 70%, they go by percentages. If you're 70%, you pay 30%. I love the way they treat their veterans. I can park in any airport for free for any period of time. I mean, at the cruise place, that was free too. I mean, it's amazing. So they are really good to their veterans in Texas.
The next one I have is Texas Pride. Now, it might not be a thing you notice if you're from Texas, but if you're from somewhere else like Pennsylvania and you come to Texas and they're like, their houses are filled with things shaped like the state of Texas, and they all have to have a Texas star on their house. And,
you're right, I have that.
And
you're right.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
Everything's bigger in Texas.
And I mean, they just love being from Texas. They love being in Texas. If you're from somewhere else and you move to Texas, everybody I've known that's moved to Texas are like Texan now. They don't say, I'm from Pennsylvania or I'm from where. No. I'm from Texas is where I'm supposed to be. That's what they'll be saying.
Yeah, Texas it has that effect on you. I think the cost of living is amazing. Of course I live in Central Texas. I don't live in the city, but the cost of living is really good. When I go back home or go anywhere else in the States, I do tend to travel a lot. Even just buying gas or getting groceries, you can see a huge difference in what it costs. The houses cost. I think my house, would cost at least $150,000 more from if it was where I grew up. If it was where you live, right? Don't you think?
be at least 150,000 more. Yeah.
Yeah.
In this area that I live in.
Yeah.
So I have something similar to that. I have the food costs less down there in Texas. It costs less than where I live. I live in eastern Pennsylvania, and there are high food prices here, you know.
So does gas, though. When I go home, I can see it's at least 15 cents more a gallon in Pennsylvania.
Yeah. The gas costs more, the food costs more. I mean, I don't really think about the housing because I don't have a house down in Texas. But every time I'm down there and we go to the grocery store, I'm like, oh my God, I would have all these. I would be in heaven if I could. It's not that I can't buy the food. It's just that you look at the food and you're like, okay, I could eat this more often, or I'd be happy. I don't know what it is, okay? But when you see certain prices, you know how when you go to the grocery store and there's a food that you're thinking, that's an every now and then food because of how expensive it is. I'd be eating it more if I lived in Texas because it'd be better.
Well, even the movies, what does it cost to get into the movies where you live?
I think it's like, depending on the day, it's like between $6 and $8 during the day. And at night, it's at least $10, I think.
I thought it cost more than that. Last time I was there.
Not in the area where I live. If I went to King of Prussia, it would cost more.
Okay.
They cost more. The closer you get to Philly, the more.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, that's about comparable. I mean, I don't pay $10 for a ticket ever, but I also get the veterans discount. So yeah, I think $7 is my ceiling on a movie ticket. One of my absolute favorite things about Texas is the laid back atmosphere. So I grew up right outside of Philadelphia, and I remember always feeling rushed, always feeling like you have to get that golden ticket. You gotta work, you gotta get yourself up there, you gotta climb that ladder, and boy, I have to go do this, and I have to go do that, I have to do my social stuff, it's nothing is like that in Texas. In Texas, it's so chill. I don't feel pressure for anything usually, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if I have deadlines, I have deadlines, but it's not the same as, you know, living in other places I've lived where you can, it's not, I'm very empathic, so I can also feel other people's, you know, pressure for living too, and it's just not here. It's just not boom, 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 and I really like that. I really do. Okay.
Yeah, I would like that.
Mm-hmm.
I've got, this is going to sound weird, driving. I like driving in Texas. Okay, so most of this is going to have to do with the area near and around Austin, because that's what I'm referring to. It's very flat there. You can see for miles ahead of you. They have higher speed limits than we do in most areas in Pennsylvania. So, and you can drive fast because you can see very far down the road. You can see for miles down the road. Also, in the Austin area, they tend to do this thing. So there's always road construction in Pennsylvania. In Austin area, what I noticed is they'll do the construction at night, and then they'll use the side roads to move people around. I don't know if they're still doing it that way. Do they still do it that way?
Yeah, it depends on where it is, yeah, but they do, yeah.
The construction is much more convenient or less intrusive, I guess, in Texas, or at least in that area of Texas. I obviously can't speak for all of Texas. Texas is huge, so.
It is huge. Everything's bigger in Texas. Well, I listed, you know, low crime. The crime in this area that I live in, I don't live in the cities. I can't compare that. The crime is so low, of course, but we grew up in a city that's like second in the U.S. in crime. I mean, so.
Well, yeah, at one point it was.
Yeah, so, but I mean, I don't feel like I have to lock my doors. I could go to bed at night without locking I don't. I just want to put that out there before people start. Lock your door. You don't have to lock. You park at your house. People come to your house. They don't have to lock their car door. Nobody's gonna come in my driveway and take your car. I mean, crime is so low in this area. I don't hear much about crime, so.
The last thing that I was going to talk about is what I was telling you earlier. Well, first of all, let me mention University of Texas.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Longhorns. Hold on.
Is this one?
Oh yeah, that's right. I've been doing this for 10 years. I can't remember how to do it. Sorry.
So yeah, the last thing I wanted to mention was, which I was talking to my sister about because it's an Army thing, so she's going to know more about it than me, is that they have the 1st Cavalry of the Army is, would you say stationed? How do you say that? Base?
Yeah, at Fort Hood. Yeah.
And they have these traditions, like sometimes they'll be wearing cowboy hats. There's things where they earn spurs. I don't know why, I just really enjoyed it. I think I saw
they have a full uniform. They have a full cavalry uniform. Yeah. And have you ever been here because the boy's dad, he was deployed all the time. When they come back, they'd have the whole thing set up. They'd have the horses out. They'd do the shooting and the charge across the field.
No, I didn't.
Oh my God, it's amazing.
I was there for somebody getting their spurs, but I can't remember if it was your ex-husband or if it was my husband's brother. I don't remember.
I think it was Brian.
Because it was interesting. I really enjoyed it. I thought it was fun. I think it's fun to have some of the state history incorporated into something like that,
And it's called a spur ride. They do a spur ride before they get their spurs. And I think it's kind of like going to the field for a weekend or something. I don't know what they do. I don't know if I want to know what they do. Of course, because I was in the Army and I don't, at the time, females didn't really, I was never in the cavalry. But when I was stationed at Fort Bliss, the 3rd Cavalry was there. And I remember them talking about doing the spur rides. And
the women didn't do the spur rides?
Yeah, they called it the spur ride in the 3rd Cavalry.
But did women do it too, or just the men?
I don't think so. And God knows what they did on it. God knows what they did during that weekend. I don't know if I want to know. It's the cavalry. It's the 3rd Cavalry. I don't want to know what the hell they're doing. Trust me.
Maybe we shouldn't leave this in here because you're making it sound like it's crazy.
It probably is crazy. Maybe someone will comment and tell us about it. Who knows? I don't know what they do though. I don't know.
Maybe they're not allowed to talk about it.
I mean, yeah, that's possible. But I wish you could see, one of those charges that they do. It's so beautiful. They bring the horses out, they get their full cavalry uniform on, and they do the shooting, and the horses run across the field with the swords. It's amazing. It's just amazing to watch. It's fun. Mm-hmm. I don't know if I've ever gotten it on video or if I did, where the video might be. So I don't know. But
I guess you'll have to go to another one and get some video.
I could do that. I could do that.
Yeah, you could.
Sure could. You're like, do it.
Put it on your channel.
Okay. Awesome. Well, I wrote down Austin, San Antonio, Dallas, because first of all, these cities are fun. They're not the biggest cities in the world. Austin is fun. I love Austin.
Yeah, Austin is fun.
And
Austin is weird, right? That's their site.
Yeah, and I haven't even totally explored Austin yet. San Antonio's fun. You got the Riverwalk. You got I'm not into the tourism things you are, but I went to those things with you too. And Dallas can be fun. it's one of those, it's not my favorite. They host a lot of things that the other cities don't host, things that you'd more get in Philadelphia and New York. So it can be fun to go travel up there and see it. They have that dinner thing all the time. What's that called? With the like the old fashioned with the jousting and all that.
Oh,
I can't think of what it's
like,
called.
oh, like a Renaissance festival?
Yes, well, not a festival. They have like the Renaissance Dinner Theater up there, and that's kind of fun. And Houston, I've just recently started going to Houston because I have friends there, and there's some really cool stuff there. I have actually gone to a Renaissance festival in Houston. I don't like to be at the cities a lot, but there are things that go on. Austin City Limits. You have just going to Austin. There's cool places to shop. There's cool restaurants, and then I get to come home, an hour away, and nothing like that is near me. So I really like that about Texas, about where I live, about the things that you think won't be available to you are within driving distance, but they're not in your face all the time. I like that. And then the last thing I wrote is HEB. I love HEB.
Oh my God, I love HEB.
I've not anywhere found a grocery store better than HEB. I love it. We should get paid for this, but it's just true.
It's true. It is so true. I cannot stand grocery stores, but I love HEB. I love it. If there's any food you think you can't find, you can find it at HEB.
Yeah, they have all kinds. They have authentic foods. They have and they'll take orders. If you ask for something, they'll order it in. A whole section of like, the things you can put in the baggies and measure out. And
oh yeah.
Healthy foods. You can make your own almond butter. I just love HEB, and I find just about everything I need in HEB, and they have the freshest food around. So. Hey, here's our mom.
What's your favorite things about Texas? Do you have any favorite things about Texas?
Same thing I have everywhere else I go. Food.
Food. I had that on the list.
Yeah, she got it for you. Yeah. Food.
There's another thing in Austin. They have.
I like my siblings.
Oh, he likes his siblings too. He's got.
I consider her a sibling.
Yeah, you're one of his siblings, he said.
I know. Well, I pretty much am. We grew up together. We fight like siblings.
But there's another thing that Austin has, and that's RTX. So Rooster Teeth is headquartered in Austin, and every year they have a what would you call that? Convention called RTX. It's like the Rooster Teeth Expo.
What is that? What do you?
My youngest son wants to go to it so bad. They're like a well, they started as a channel. They didn't start on YouTube, but they have a YouTube. They have a large YouTube presence, and they've done lots of different kinds of video things, like red versus blue. There's what is it called? There's people probably yelling at me right now. There's achievement hunters. They have just a whole bunch of different things that they do, and they're very successful. I think they're part of another company now. So.
Okay.
Yeah. But yes, my youngest son would love to go to RTX, but
I could have listed like lakes. We have really nice lakes. We have a lot of good outdoor kind of stuff, but that kind of goes with the weather,
Yeah.
A lot of
I like how laid back everybody is down south.
Well, that was on my list.
So.
Yeah.
And we were talking about HEB. Bob likes HEB. What do you
Heb.
call it? Heb. He
Heb.
calls it Heb.
I like Heb.
I call it
Yeah.
HEB.
In the house. I go there like every other day, so I'm always there. It's a good thing I like it.
So that's it. So what are you guys' favorite things about Texas if you've been? Let us know in the comments down below. I hope we covered everything. We hope you had a good time, and we'll talk to you soon.
We love you. Mwah. Bye.